Hello, 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 everyone. Ooh, a little glitch there. Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Sipping Wealth Live. Hello. I am here with a brand new topic where we bring you, welcome to the channel where I bring you news, tips, and tricks on how to wealth up. All right, y'all. So I am going to jump right into the topic. Today we are talking about FinTech. So financial technology just revolving around. Hold on, let me make sure. Hold on, y'all. 1 second. I want to make sure everything's streaming properly. These social platforms, y'all. Okay. But while I get this situated, how's everyone doing today? For those of you tuned in, be sure to drop a comment in the comment section. Say, hey girl, how's it going? So I know who's tuned in with me. If you're watching this after I'm live, drop a comment. Let me know that you what you think about the topic, questions that you may have, and I'll be sure to respond to it as well. So go ahead and check in, y'all, and drop a comment in the comment section so I can address everything. And then once I get this up and going, I'm going to go ahead and jump right into the topic and we're going to discuss it all. All right, y'all. Okay, let's get in. All right, some things that you need to know about FinTech and just understanding like what it is, how it can benefit you and your business or your ventures that you have going on. So I wanted to make sure I touched on this as it continues to develop. So FinTech is financial technology. And what it is essentially any technology that really helps with delivering financial services. So this helps with payment processors. This helps with blockchain technology. This helps with lending. This helps with advising, online banking. All that's considered fintech. All right, so I wanted to make sure I touched on this topic because it's a hot topic right now. So I want to make sure I addressed it. One thing that I also want to mention as it relates to fintech is the efficiency and convenience of it all. And that's where it really originates. Because as we know, we're in a very heavy technology focused day and age. So people making sure that, hey, finding softwares and applications and technology that's going to make our work as easy as possible and whatever we're doing as easy as possible, that's what people are searching for. So finding even ways that you can implement this in your business or your day-to-day, everyone is using some sort of form of fintech. Okay, whether it's online banking, mobile payment, lending, whatever. But it's also finding ways that you can utilize it within your business and what you have going on for yourself as well. All right, so it helps with saving you time. So you could really hop on your computer or your phone really, really quickly, and you can do transactions from there. You can get your financial advising from there. You can do your lending, your banking, all that from this financial technology. And also helps with reducing costs. So even on the business owner standpoint, so finding applications and things like that. For example, I have an portal system that actually integrates our payment processing with our application. So when a client makes a payment or whatever the case may be, they go right in there, make the payment is being processed. Also, whenever we're communicating with our clients, we can send messages through the chat, whatever the case may be. So finding ways that you can implement this these type of technologies through your business helps with lowering costs and making and allowing you to implement some more automations through your company. Um, Especially when it comes to like accounting and payroll and invoicing. I mean, we use this a lot. Um, in my within my industry and within really all businesses, because if you are receiving money, you want to make sure that you have the right financial technology that's going to make it as easy as possible, streamlined, automated, and that's actually going to get the job done for the lowest cost possible. And having this allows it to. Um, Also, it helps with enhancing the security. So making sure that you have your and a lot of the times there are encryptions and security protocols already built in the financial technology, which is really good, and fraud detection as well. It's and as we continue to develop AI and artificial intelligence, it's gonna pick up a lot quicker and easier as it relates to fraud detection. For example, like with the IRS. So a lot of people are getting like letters a lot quicker. I know that in the past, when as it relates to like tax returns and maybe business returns, things like that being filed late. In the past, you may have gotten away with not filing your tax return on time and not even being assessed the penalty. But now that we have AI and this fintech and things like that, the IRS is able to allow the computers and things like that to detect these things a lot quicker and send out these notices to individuals. So a lot of the processing work and things like that is already being handled through the computer, through the financial technology and automation. And then if they have to go in and kind of uh check to like audit or pull a file because it sends off a red flag, or somebody says, oh shoot, we have to look at this a bit further, then the IRS then pulls the file and then they send out a notice. But on the front end, the reason why we electronically file the tax return is because on the front end, the software is really scanning the tax return for anything that is like an anomaly or something that's maybe they need to look at closer at, or any larger amounts over a certain threshold. If it's not, then it's like, okay, we can go ahead and process it, and maybe they may pull a few of them, but the on the front end, the softwares and computers are doing a lot of the work. So finding ways that you can implement technology in these things, and I'm going to go over some softwares and things like that later on in this live, but finding ways that you can utilize softwares and things like that within your business as well, because it is going to help with automating, decreasing your workload. Come on. Because look, one thing that AI and technology got right is decreasing the amount of tedious tasks and things like that that we have to do as business owners. So allowing technology to do that for you. A lot of times business owners and things are overwhelmed with so much work and mundane tasks and things like that. Utilize these softwares to help make your life easier. That's why they're here. All right. The next thing I want to cover. Oh, I don't even know why this is not working. Hold on, y'all. Okay. All right. Okay. Another thing that financial technology has really helped with allowing us to have is access. So I would say, really, in this internet age, that's what really sets us apart from other generations, past generations, and things like that, is our access to technology. And of course, I'm gonna, really hone in on financial technology, because now things that we may have not have access to because we're not in proximity of, we now do because of these technologies, these softwares. So the lending, being able to be go through lending applications, things like that, and not having to be in that particular location. Online banking, now you can open a bank account wherever, and throughout the US, if they and it doesn't matter if the bank is based in, you know um Georgia. If you want to open a bank account, generally, I know of quite a few banks allow. I mean, you have to be a resident of that place, but a lot of banks don't even mind if you opening an online bank account with them, because ultimately they want to bring as much as much business to their bank as possible. So now you have access to so many more financial institutions that increase your lendability options. It's huge. Now you can, and not only can you now reach so many more different lenders, now when it comes to crowdfunding as well, you are able to, there's so many more platforms that you can utilize to even crowdfund as a small business owner or individual. GoFundMe is not the only fintech that's out here for crowdfunding. Okay, there are tons. All right. So making sure that, hey, now I'm making sure that you realize, hey, I have access to so much at my fingertip by just utilizing the financial technology that's here and ready for you to be used. Whether it's lending, crowdfunding, I made a post on my Facebook today asking, business owners, what are some challenges that are currently facing? And some said the financial concerns, scaling, things like that. A lot of those things that they said can be assist with through financial technology and utilizing these applications and things like that to help make their job easier. All right, some is like maybe marketing strategies, things like that, but yeah. um The other is analytics. So, of course, with analytics is making sure that we are staying informed so that we can make informed decisions, because that's how we're going to scale our business. That's how we're going to make sure that we are wealthing up out here, getting our financials in order, getting our life in order, making sure that we have the resources to get what we want done. Okay, so having the analytics at our disposal. I like to tell people about the app called Mint. It's by the same creators of Intuit, right? So Mint allows you to essentially create a budget within the application. So you don't have to do like a hand budget or I know I created the wealth planner. Some people like writing, and I created the wealth planner. I'm a person that I like to write things down. So the wealth planner. But if you're like, oh, I rather an app, which I use an app in conjunction with my wealth planner. But if you're like, oh, I need an app that's going to help me stick to my budget, that's going to sync up to my bank account, and then it's going to alert me. So you have these apps out here that are going to help you keep a track of your finances, and you're underutilizing them. All right, they're out here. So making sure that you have access to these analytics, and then you have the ability to personalize these applications. So, for example, back to Mint, creating your own budget within that. If you're a business owner, within QuickBooks, you're able to create a budget through that. FreshBooks, there's so many different softwares out here that you can utilize, y'all. But at this point, like, if you don't know what your numbers are doing, it's your fault. It's all you, because there's so much technology readily available. And then compliance as well. So a lot of these financial technology companies, they have to comply. They have federal regulations and different that they have to comply to. So that also helps as well to know that, hey, this is a safer application to be using. All right. And then also the supports, so the chats, the robo advisors, chat gpt, like that's a huge software that really, like, everyone's on chat gpt, like, to do everything. Hey, chat gpt, what is this? I know Alexa was one of the when they started rolling out Alexa, that was one of the newer ais that people were exposed to. But now you have this artificial intelligence that is tapping into every market, that can be utilized everywhere. So they're really finding ways that to make the average day-to-day things that you're doing task more automated, more efficient. So, if you do have a software that's able to do those things for you, then might as well tap into it and utilize it. Um, and then of course you have cryptocurrencies and all that, which I'm not going to get into cryptocurrency because that's not my wheelhouse. All right, I need to make sure. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna talk about digital banking. Okay. So as it when it comes to digital banking, ooh, excuse me. I wanted to make sure that I touched on digital banking today as well, because we do it, but understanding um, the more things that it encompasses is good to know as well. All right. So, especially moving and navigating through the financial world. So, I'm going to go over some tips and things like that that you should be aware of when it comes to mobile banking, digital banking, especially the security measures. All right, y'all. When they tell you to do the two-factor authentication and they prompt you to do it, go ahead and do it. Stop playing. Because this literally it adds the layer of protection necessary so that, hey, not only are you putting in your password, but it's also sending you a message or whatever. This helps with people hacking or breaking into your account, things like that. So just go ahead and do it. And that goes across the board. So make sure that you're doing that two-factor authentication. I know some people just, if they have the option, they just skip it and move on. Also, the big perk about the big thing about digital banking that's great is fraud monitoring and encryption. So making sure that you're turning on have the application on your phone, whatever bank you're banking with, and make sure that you have the notifications that are popping up. You can turn off the marketing stuff, but actually making sure that you alert. I like to set my bank account alerts. After, if it gets lower than a certain amount, it will send me an alert. Or if every time I get a deposit, or whenever I reach a certain threshold, it's going to go ahead and send me an alert. Or a certain amount gets withdrawn out of my account, it's going to send me an alert too. So setting up those measures through your account allows you to prevent fraud, allows you to stay on top of those transactions, and all of a sudden you're like, whoa, where I never saw that transaction, or where did that come from, or what, I never authorized this. So setting up those measures, turning on those notifications from your bank to your phone. I know sometimes you don't want all those notifications and you're like, but look, it's about your money. So go ahead and turn on that notification when it comes to your money, okay? Because when it goes missing, now you want to turn up, but those are things that could have been prevented if you just had those notifications on, okay? So make sure that your notifications on as well. And then, y'all, because all this financial technology is so readily available, you shouldn't be paying your bank a monthly fee to bank with them at this point. There are so many different types of bank accounts, banking institutions that offer free banking. If you're paying a monthly bill or fee to your bank to store your money there, then go to another institution. All right, there is just so much readily available, so many apps. Everything's really at your fingertips. Okay, and a lot of this stuff can be handled through your phone. You don't even have to go into a branch anymore. I know Chase, a lot of Chases, they put two desks in there, and they actually downsize the amount of branches that are available, because a lot of the banking, you don't even go into, a lot of times you're not going into the bank anymore. You can deposit the check on your phone. You can do transfers. You can attach new bank accounts for those transfers. You could do wires remotely. So everything could happen remotely through financial technology right now. And if you're a business owner and you're like, hey, how do I implement this stuff with my business? There are applications out there to do so. Yes. And it's a huge cost savings to not actually to have the ability to not have to commute to a physical location. All right. And now you're able to do bill payments, transfers, the digital wallet, the Apple Pay tap tap, and then manage your account. Because all this is readily available on your phone, on your technology, you have to take advantage of this. All right. I know for my bookkeeping, my business owners, bookkeeping, this makes bookkeeping so much easier being able to have this financial technology in place. For those new fresh starting businesses, you want to make sure that you have a software that's going to sync up with your business bank account. Why this is going to make it easier for you, and there are tons out there. If you're not ready to hop onto, say, QuickBooks, because QuickBooks fees are a little higher, a little steep, there's other softwares that you can utilize as a business owner that's going to sync up with your business bank account, where you can go ahead and track and do your bookkeeping as a new startup business. As you grow your business, you should not be doing your own bookkeeping, okay? Because you have other things. You have to be concentrating on expanding your business, driving sales, taking care of operations, and making sure that you're scaling the business. And then you're going to also spend the time doing the mundane task of bookkeeping, when you could get a software to assist with this, when you can make sure that you have an agency or a company, strategic tax accountants, to assist with this. Make sure that you are utilizing this. Make sure that you have a payment processor. Cash App, Cash App is not a secure method of payment. Zelle is not a secure method of payment. Okay? You want to utilize more secure methods of payments as a business owner. So a PayPal, a Square, a Stripe, another payment processor. I use a CPA Charge or QuickBooks or Stripe. I think I said Stripe already, but yes, making sure you're utilizing these softwares, y'all. I don't touch cash. I had a client that came into the office, and they're like, the fee was, I believe, like around $1,700. And they're like, yeah, can I pay you in cash? And I'm like, whoa. The millennial in me, like, my eye would have twitched, like, what? Cash? Like, one, why are you walking around with so much cash? Two, ill. And three, you really could just put your card information, put your account information, and pay the invoice. No, like, I know cash is king and relative, but cash is still king even if it's not physically there. All right, you could put the cash in the account and pay that way. It's okay. All right. Don't be scared to deposit and put your money in a bank account. Um, okay. Customer support. I know this could be very annoying too sometimes, like the chat box and the virtual assistants and things like that. But it also assists companies with being able to provide virtual assistants 24 hours without actually having someone call in or someone having to go to a physical location. All right. And these are things when you see companies, and even though they're on a larger scale, at the end of the day, they're still a business. Right. They had to start somewhere. Yes, implementing some of these things on your own, like having your own Wells Fargo app, you're probably maybe not there, but there are applications like the Wells Fargo or that you can use for your payment processing and tracking for your business. So you should go ahead and utilize it to help with those tasks and keeping everything organized and in place. A lot of times we try to do too much, wear too many hats, and there's technology out here to assist with this stuff. All right. Payment apps. I want to go over some payment apps, and then we're gonna wrap this thing up, y'all. Okay. Some apps that you can use for payment processing. And I know there are tons of a different smaller company as well. um, that assists with payment processing, that can offer, different rates and things like that. But definitely, if you do find another company that's offering different payment processing, you want to check their fees. Always check their fees. They normally have a percentage and like a per, like a 25 cents and then 3% fee. And then they have different fees depending on if it's ACH, bank transfer, or if it's like an Amex card, Visa, things like that. So you want to check on that as well. And so your larger payment processing company is going to be Stripe, Square, PayPal, Clover, and then also depending on your industry. Oh my gosh, I should have mentioned. Depending on your industry, there are so many industry specific applications. Like for example, restaurant industry. You have no matter what industry you're in, there is a payment processing app for you. Okay, there are just tons. I'm just going over a few of the larger ones. Shopify, is the larger platform for e-commerce. But you have so many depending on you have um Telic, I believe that's how you pronounce it, and that's for the restaurant owners. You have Clover, so many different, even US Bank does a merchant processing as well, Payment Cloud, Aiden. There are tons of different payment processors. Again, like I said, depending on your industry, there's normally a payment processing app specifically for you. And why I say this or bring this up is because a lot of the times, and like CPA charge for accountants. So a lot of the times, like with these particular payment processors specifically, they have different things within their system based on their particular industry. And then a lot of times they already have a lot of automations or templates and different things like that you can utilize, that you don't have to reinvent the wheel because they are already in your industry. So they're already bringing out things that's going to assist people just like you in your particular industry. So as you're looking for different payment processors, different financial technologies to partner up with your firm, you want to look at things that are specific to your industry first and then go from there. Maybe their fees are a little higher, you want to go with a more general one, but regardless, you want to make sure that you are looking at industry first and then going to, cost. And then looking at costs, of course, but looking at the industry because it could really help with making your work easier. Maybe it's a tad bit more expensive. Maybe it's, instead of 10 cents per transaction is 15 cents per transaction, but they have all the templates and all the automations for your industry specifically. It may be worth that because you don't have to create those in the back end and it's saving you money. And then maybe in the future, you want to go into another application, depending on your volume. Because depending on the amount of volume or transactions you are doing, you want to also switch your payment processor because generally there are cheaper payment processors out there for people that are doing larger volume. Yeah, hopefully that helps, y'all. Let me make sure that I don't have any questions. Okay, so hopefully this assists y'all with navigating the financial technology arena. If y'all do have questions, things like that, or need suggestions as far as, hey, I need a strategy around how to process payments within my company. I've been using Cash App. Or, I'm paying so much money doing this payment processing. I need a better system. If you are looking for a better system or a better way of processing payments or just keeping track of your financials through your business, maybe you're a startup and don't have the financial means to hire, say, an accounting firm like Strategic Tax Accountants just yet, and you're just starting out, then we could sit down, have a strategy session, come up with more something that's more ideal for your particular business. All right, y'all. So that is it for me. Thank you, thank you, thank you for those that tuned in to another episode of Finance of Sipping Wealth Live, where I bring you news, tips, and tricks on how to wealth up. Have a wonderful evening, y'all.